Good morning, student. In last period, we learned the effect of force on a stationary object. We learned that the force applied on an object can move the object if more than one force applied on an object in the same direction, then the resultant force is total force of all force acting on it on the same direction. And we also learned that if more than one force is act on an object or two force act on an object in an opposite direction, then the resultant force is the difference between the two force act on the object. And in third situation, we see that if a two force act on an object in the opposite direction to each other, the value of and the object is not moved, then we said that the value of two force is equal. Then the resultant force is 0. If the resultant force is 0, the effect of force cannot be observed on an object. Now, today we learn another effect of force on an object, that is study the effect of force on the shape of an object. In your textbook, on the page number 133, activity number 11.5 is given, and one table number 11.2, studying the effect of force on an object, is given. This observation table is I write on the blackboard. So our aim is to study the effect of force on the shape of an object, different object. Description of the situation is given in column number 1, and apply of force is method of apply of force means how to apply the force on the object is given in the column number 2. And next column is action of force on whether it change in the state of motion or the change in the shape of an object. Change in the state of motion is if we apply a force on any object, if it change its speed, means speed may be decreased or may be increased. If change in speed or change in direction, or both change in speed and change in direction, then it is said to be in change in the state of motion. When a ball towards the batsman and batsman apply a force on the ball after hitting the ball with the bat by the batsman, the speed and direction of the ball is changed. Therefore, we said that the state of motion of the ball is changed, because both speed as well as direction is changed in this case. In some case, only speed is changed, and in some case, only direction is changed. And in some case, both speed as well as direction are changed. This is the change in the state of motion. So this is the change, action of force on change in the state of motion is observed or not, whether and change in the shape of object is observed or not. In first case, the description of the situation is a lump of dal on a plate. Your mother prepared chapati or parathas for you, and it prepared a dal by mixing a water of a atta, and a lump is prepared. This lump is put on the patla, and with the help of balloon it pressed on the lump of dough and made the shape of lump to a circular shape. So this lump of dough on a plate, if we press it down with our hand, the diagram is given in the activity, then we observe that change in the state of motion means change in its direction or change in its speed. So now, here is we write sigma, made a right. Change in the shape of the dot to chaos. When we press a lump of dot on a plate towards the downward direction, change the shape of lump of the dog. So here we change by applying a force by our hand on a lump of dog. Next situation, a spring fixed to the seat of a bicycle. Below the seat of bicycle, a spring on both the side of backward side is given. This spring, by sitting on the seat, we see that the spring fixed on the seat of bicycle, shape of the spring is changed, is pressed by sitting on seat. Therefore, it also changed the shape of a spring. Here, no change is observed. Third situation, a rubber band suspended from a hook or nail fixed on a wall. If you see, in my hand, a rubber band is here. If this rubber band is I hang on the nail fixed on the wall, and by hanging a weight or pulling it freehand, I pull its freehand, and you see that the shape of rubber band is changed. Other change, the state of motion, no change in the state of motion, but change in the shape of rubber band. So, by applying a force on a free end of a rubber band, which is hanged on a wall, the change is observed. In last case, a plastic or a metal scale placed between two bricks. Here, in place of brick, I place a book on both the sides, and I have a metal scale. I place a metal scale between the two bricks. So, a plastic or metal scale placed between the two bricks, the arrangement is like this type. And by putting a weight at the center of the scale, now I put a weight on a center of the scale. You observe that the shape of a scale is changed. In first case, the shape of scale is like this way. But by putting a weight on the center of the scale, you see that the shape of the scale is like this. So we said that by applying a force on a plastic or metal scale which is placed between the two bricks, the shape of scale is changed. Therefore, here also the shape of the scale is observed. So yes, and change in the state of motion. So no change in the state of motion, no change. So in all cases, we see that by applying a force on an object, the shape of an object is changed. So this is the effect of force on an object. That is, the force can change the shape of an object. This is the conclusion of this activity, that force can change the shape of an object. In our everyday life, there are many examples we see that the force can change the shape of an object. If we place a rubber ball in our hand and apply a force with our palm on it, we observe that the shape of rubber ball is changed. If we apply a force on a tomato with our hand, we see that the force can change the shape of tomato. If we apply a force of a half of lemon with our finger, we see that the shape of a half lemon can change by applying a force. So in our everyday life, there are many examples which show that force can change the shape of an object. So this is the conclusion of this activity, that the force can change the shape of an object. Thank you.